This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening, welcome to this evening's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. Kevin Smith here. Let's get to the news in detail. Guyana's antiquated laws allow Exxon Mobil to have monopoly in Guyana Basin when oil companies are awarded licenses to explore blocks whether on or offshore. They have a time frame within which they must carry out their exploration. In Guyana, a petroleum prospecting license is awarded for a period of 4 years, following which it can be renewed twice. Each renewal lasts for 3 years, but at each application, the license holder must relinquish a portion of the block. Depending on the size of the block and agreement negotiated with the authorities of the day, the contractor may have to give up between 15 to 20% of it. In the case of Exxon Mobil, which is the operator of the Stabroek block, it was required to relinquish portions of the offshore concession over time. It has been in possession of the block since 1999. And moving on, President of the National Mine Workers Union, Sherwin Downer, has accused Chinese-operated Aurora gold mines of discriminating against unionized workers. Compounding issues are also allegations that the Minister of Labour, Joseph Hamilton, is ignoring calls for a probe. Earlier this week, Aurora Gold Mines, now controlled by Chinese company Zhejiang Mining Group, had shared their decision to rehire a number of former and new employees. This hiring played a part in the preparation for the full consumption of the gold company's operations, it had said. In other news, health officials in Region 1, Buri-Mawini, are closely monitoring 14 cases of COVID-19 in Warapoka. Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, yesterday said the disease were made by teams monitoring Kwabana and nearby communities. In other news, in December 2018, the former APNU-AFC government had taken an $11.6 million loan from the Inter-American Development Bank to improve the nation's capacity to effectively manage the oil sector. A portion of that money was dedicated to developing a depletion policy. This is a crucial document that helps to slow or put a brake on the aggressive rate at which oil companies extract and sell the nation's oil and gas resources. However, since the APNU-AFC signed onto the loan 2 years ago, this policy is yet to be produced. Let's tell you now that while ExxonMobil, like all oil companies operating in Guyana, has the responsibility to relinquish sections of the oil blocks it owns, this major strategically positioned itself to regain an area it had to relinquish years ago, according to a source. ExxonMobil has had the exploration rights to the Stabroek block since 1999. And moving on, the last words of a dying security guard who was found battered and sleeping on a blood-soaked cardboard behind his workplace were check the security cameras. The cameras have everything. 43-year-old Bharat Das was discovered at around 5:30 on Friday, November 6th, on the back steps of Medicare Pharmacy located at Newmarket Street, Cummingsburg. The matter was reported, and police commenced a thorough investigation into the death. We reached out to employers about video footage, but they were reluctant to disclose information. Meanwhile, former NISL CEO Winston Brassington revealed that the Articles of Incorporation, which guide the operations of the entity, gives it broad and sweeping powers to do practically anything under the sun. Braxington made these statements yesterday while responding to questions posed by Kaieteur News lawyer Nigel Hughes. The statements were made during a continuation of the trial accusing the newspaper of libel brought against Braxington. And that brings us to the end of this evening's newscast. I am Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. Coming up next is the National Outlook with GHK Lal. Do have an enjoyable and safe Friday night.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts.